Hello everyone, Earl Henderson, Primordial Defense. Thank you for watching. This video is going to be about Powerflare products. Powerflare is a company that produces a series of safety lights that are to be used for emergency lighting purposes or safety lighting purposes. And they're really a better, safe alternative to using road flares. So we're all familiar with a road flare. If you've never handled one in person or dealt with them personally, you most likely have seen them in a video. It's just a big red stick, and you strike one in and it burns hot like a match, but it doesn't go out really quick. It lasts for several minutes. It's bright, puts off smoke, and you can see it for a very long distance. For several years, I really have no idea when they started being used. But for years, they've been used by various public safety agencies across the nation. For example, out in California, the California Highway Patrol and other police agencies down there, I guess you could say they're a big fan of road flares because anytime you see any footage, news footage or even movies, but really more the news footage is what I would kind of pay more attention to. You can see road flares being used on like the side of the road for like a car accident on the interstate or something like that. And these flares, they're bright, they can be seen for a long distance. You set them out, they burn for several minutes, and they have a long shelf life on them. You can put them in the trunk of the car, and a few years go down the road, you don't use them. Suddenly one day you need to use them after a few years, and they're going to work. They're not, I wouldn't say they're cheap, but they're not very expensive either, and so they're kind of a good alternative, or a good use for a lot of agencies, and that's just what a lot of agencies have gone with. And they've used them for lighting on the side of the road, and some places have also even tried to use them for landing zones. But some of the downsides to flares is they can start fires. So if you're trying to use them for a landing zone, they could catch the field on fire if it's a little too dry. The rotor wash can blow them off and throw them into the bush or the tree line and start a fire there. If the helicopter crashes and spills fuel everywhere, it could catch a helicopter on fire. Same kind of risk on the side of the road. Vehicle accidents tend to leak fluids, and sometimes those fluids could be fuel. So if you got fuel going down to the flare and catches on fire, of course, you get a little trail going back to the source, and hopefully the people are out of the vehicle. If not, there's going to be people being burned to death inside a vehicle if they're not already dead from the car accident. So road flares have been a very commonly used thing over the years, but there are some safety concerns with them. And this is where this product really, pun intended, shines. So this is their product. It is a sealed LED light unit with a multitude of flash patterns. It's sealed, so I could turn this on, let it flash, and pour gasoline over it, and it's not going to set that gasoline on fire. For something like a vapor or something like that in a hazmat environment, it's not going to cause an ignition within the atmosphere. They're water resistant, I think, down to, and even waterproof down to like 80 foot of submersion. This particular model takes a CR123 battery. A CR123 battery is a lithium battery. Lithium batteries have a pretty decent shelf life on them. They can last somewhere up to around 10 years and still hold about a 70% charge after that time. You don't get that kind of shelf life and charge out of just normal alkaline batteries. And lithium, if you have any electronic device, lithium batteries are what you want. So with that being said, you don't have to run into the risk of the battery leaking inside this unit and getting all the stuff corroded and just becoming one big nasty funk inside. You don't have to worry about cold temperatures majorly affecting the lithium battery. Lithium batteries perform in cold weather a lot better than just normal alkaline batteries. These products come in a few different options. This option here, there's 4 of these in this little package. They have another package that looks similar to this. It's a little bit taller, and it has, I think, about 8 lights in there. There's another one that you can get. It comes with about 12 lights in there. The housing units come in a few different colors. You can get the orange, yellow, and a olive drab type of color. As far as the flashing lights go, you get red, you get an amber color, there's blue, green, white, and infrared. And the infrared is the one that comes with the olive drab color. It's supposed to be like a military tactical beacon, so that you can see it with night vision. They have a few different flash patterns in them. They don't have a whole lot of flash patterns, but they got a few flash patterns. And I'll go over these flash patterns right now. Turn the unit on by pressing once. And to turn the unit off, you just hold down on the power button for a few seconds, and then it'll give you a quick flash, and then it shuts off, and I'll do that right now. So you can see when I held it down, it went to a low dim light all the way around, and then it did one flash, and then it went completely off. It has a memory setting on here, so when you go through all your different flash patterns and you find the one you like, you can turn it off, and when you go to turn it back on, it goes back to that pattern that you had previously left it on. To change the pattern, you just hit the power button again. This is an SOS pattern. It's a Coast Guard approved and SOLAS approved type of beacon. This is a brighter, steady burn type of color. And in this particular package right here, it's a combination of red and yellow lights. It is a more dimmed, steady burn type of light pattern. Only one side of the LED lights come on to produce a flashlight type of application for you. All the other lights are turned off. Another flash pattern. I held it down for too long. Kind of more of a triple burst kind of strobe. A double flash. Kind of a single flash. I call this a rotator flash. I don't know what the official names for the different patterns are, but this just reminds me of an old school rotator light. If I had to give this one a name, I'd call it the carnival light, because it just reminds me of a carnival or some type of arcade game kind of light. I kind of like this this pattern the most. And then it goes back to the SOS. So I'll toggle through it, and well, I guess that one was you just cycle through it and it goes off. And I like the triple burst one. So I'll leave it on that. On the side here has a key ring, and it comes with a carabiner on the side. And in case you forgot where it came from, they include their logo on the side of the carabiner. So you could hang this off something. You could, if you're in the water, you could drop an anchor and attach a line to this and kind of keep this in place while you're out in the river or the lake or something like that, and you have a light be able to mark an area or something like that. Of course, you can put it on the side of the road, hang it, if you're out camping or whatever, you hang in the tent. Multiple options with this. This one, like I said, it comes with 4 of them, and what you typically do for using these on the side of the road for warning power, you would create a diagonal kind of pattern with the lights. You'd walk away from your vehicle going towards traffic, go a pretty good distance. You drop one light, and then you drop another one as you walk back closer towards your vehicle, and then drop another one, and then drop another one. And then you kind of create, and these are way too close, but to keep it within camera view, you create kind of a diagonal line. That way, as vehicles are driving down traffic, and you got these spread out on the emergency lane, it kind of creates that visual of, hey, lane change, get the hell over. You don't have to set them all in the same pattern. You can set them on a different pattern to really get people's attentions. What I call the carnival light, I kind of tend to like that one a lot better. That triple burst light is a pretty good option. It really throws off a good amount of light, and these really get people's attention pretty well. I ran into a situation here recently where my wife had car trouble, and she was on the interstate. Vehicle lost power, and she had to get out of the left-hand lane, cross like 4 lanes on the interstate with no acceleration power whatsoever, get over, and then she crested a hill. And after cresting a hill, she got to the side of the road, couldn't go any further because obviously the car had no more power. And where she was at was a really bad spot in my opinion, but I mean, what can you do when you've lost your acceleration ability? So she has passed the crest of the hill, and I get there, and I know instantly that just the regular flashers from the vehicle are not going to be the greatest. So I was able to pull these out, walk down the emergency lane away from our vehicles, dropped them at a distance, and did the little diagonal hazard pattern, and it did a pretty good job, I think, of getting people's attention and getting them to change lanes. But where we were at, we were really kind of close to the crest of the hill, and some of the traffic came in packs where you got multiple vehicles all kind of close together in the different lanes, and some of the vehicles, they weren't able to change lanes in time. And so, we did have some big old 18-wheelers zipping right by us, just a few feet by. But for the most part, most of everyone was able to get over. And I really think that these helped out a whole lot with giving the warning power. They're very visible, very noticeable. And, when you set them a pretty good distance away from your vehicle, it just gives you that much more a safe distance, because it allows those drivers to have a whole lot better of a reactionary gap versus getting a little bit too closer to you and then noticing your flashers and trying to get out of the way. So these were a great product to have. Highly recommend that you get a set and keep it in the trunk of your car for extra warning power if you're ever on the side of the road and car trouble, or you pull up, there's a car accident, whatever. Comes in a pretty good little carry case. Zippers on the top. Under the handle is another zipper. Little storage space. Comes with your directions. Comes with the little Allen key to be able to pull these out so that you can access the inside and change out the battery. Directions in it, of course, and you could also keep some spare CR123 batteries in the top of the carry case. You can go to their website. Their website is Powerflare.com. You can go there, you can read a lot more information. It has a chart on there that shows you the amount of hours that this product will last for under the different modes. The least amount of hours that I think it will last is 10 hours. That's a pretty long time. You could turn this on, and I don't remember which setting it was as far as the pattern. It might have been the carnival light one. That one lasts, let's say it's that one. I don't know if it is, but let's say it is 10 hours. This light will stay on for 10 hours. That's pretty good. One of the other settings, I think, was somewhere between 120 and 150 hours. So they got, depending on what setting you put them on, they got a lot of burn time on them. And then using lithium batteries, they got a very long shelf life. So you could, I could change batteries out today on these, and I wouldn't have to worry about checking these again for another 5 years, because I know that lithium battery is going to be good to go after a while. If you have any questions or comments, you can go ahead and leave them down in the comment section. Highly suggest you go check out this website. I'm not getting paid for it or anything like that. If someone at Powerflare happens to see this video and likes the fact that I gave them a pretty good shout out, I'm a big fan of swag. If you want to send some swag my way, by all means, go right ahead. But just throw that out there. I'm not getting paid for this review or anything like that. Earl Henderson, Primordial Defense. Thank you for watching.